The Bystander, the elusive, accidental character made by Shane top of Smosh. During a guest episode of Try Not to Laugh, Shane decided to do a bit he had been thinking of. Failing to do the full bit on the guest, he tries again on his co-worker and fellow cast member Angela Jaradana. I don't know if that is how you even say her name. After succeeding in making her laugh, he then proceeded to not change but stay in the costume. For some reason it bothered Angela for Shane to just stand there in the costume after the bit was over. But the bit is never over, so Shane continued for the rest of Angela's turn in that video to get those great Angela reactions. Which moves us to the reason for this video series, making a game around the Bystander. When coming up with different game concepts, I came to the realization that the Bystander and Slender Man have some common similarities, well, more so too. Both have notes that need to be given or collected, and both torment others, Slender Man intentional, and the Bystander not really. With that, I thought it would be funny to create a Slender clone game with the Bystander as Slender Man and the player as Angela. With the title I came up with being, Bystander, Collect My Pages. The basic plot of the game, if there even needs to be one, would be that Angela goes to the Smosh office expecting to film a late night video, similar to the one that Shane and Amanda did for Halloween, but when she enters everything feels off. The door locks behind her. Looking close by, she finds a note. It's one of the Bystanders. All that is written on the note is one thing: collect my pages. Now in this part I will be simply doing the blockout of the level, as well as initial setup of the player character. To help make this project not take forever to make, I will only be making a simplified version of the Smosh office, but I will attempt to make it as accurate as possible when I get to the modeling stage of the game. Though the game will mostly be in pitch blackness with nothing but the torch lighting the way, so hopefully with that the mistakes might not be too noticeable. I will also be doing the game within the Unreal Engine, as that is the game engine I'm most familiar with. Right, with that out of the way, let's get to the blockout. So first I started off with the default first-person map and began deleting the jumping and all the things related to the shooting. Those won't be needed for this game. I then started deleting the cubes, platforms and walls, so I'm left with just the base ground. For this game I wanted to have low poly pixelated graphics, similar to the game Mouthwashing, so before I started the blockout I quickly set up the post-processing which will allow the pixelation part of the graphics. I followed a tutorial for this and it took me too long finding two nodes, but I eventually found them. The pixel size no changes how pixelated the screen will become. The less the number, the less distinguishable things will become, to a point where you're only looking at 4 different colored squares. I have set it to 200 for the time being, but may change it during the testing phase of the game. I will have it off until I need it. After finishing the post-processing and not realizing that there was already a post-processing volume in the map already, I moved on to blocking out the level. To fully understand the layout and scale of the Smosh office, I mainly watched their office tour and hide-and-seek videos. Pausing, moving through the videos frame by frame and watching the videos at 0.75 speed, to fully get an accurate grasp at the size and scale of the office. Starting by making the base platform large enough so I don't have to resize it later, I started on the walls and doorways from the entranceway and worked my way around. Had to also delete the first-person arms as well. I did have a basic map of the office I created in PowerPoint when I watched the videos the first time round, but the accuracy of it wasn't the best, so you will constantly see me resize and reposition the walls and doorways as I realize that the rooms are smaller or closer than what I initially thought they were. I mainly realized this with the props area, it's smaller than what I thought it was. I will now leave you to the time lapse. After finishing the walls and doorways, I moved on to blocking out the furniture of the office. This was a much easier process, as I just have to place blocks and other shapes in the general position where the eventual model for that object will be, as well as having them sized appropriately. Again, this is just a block out. Any detail missed during this stage will be fixed in the modeling phase of the game, and yes, I know that I haven't done the roof yet. That will be done close to last during modeling, just to make it easier to see everything while I do the block out and the programming for the game. I also forgot to rename all the different furniture blocks on the sidebar. I should have done so, as that would help me know what is what. This will be fixed for the next video. Now back to the time lapse. And with that, the blockout is now complete. In the next part I will be programming the player, the notes and the bystander himself. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when the next video comes out. Leave a comment down below what you think as well as any suggestions for this series, or any other videos you would like to see in the future. If you also want to support me further, be sure to visit my Patreon to get different perks like getting your name at the end of the video, as well as being able to see videos first before it comes to YouTube. See you next time. Tom, signing out.